Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today. It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and we're looking down at the beautiful town of Waterville. Still a little bit of haze and smoke out there, but boy, it warmed up this afternoon into the lower 90s, a lot of upper 80s around as well. And as we take a look at that Thursday forecast, changes are on the way for tomorrow. We talked about it yesterday. A large cold front will move through and we will see windy conditions for your Thursday. Some blowing dust is a possibility as well, so keep that in mind. We could see wind gusts as high as 26 miles an hour here in the Wenatchee area. We're in that green area. The yellow and orange is where we will really see some windy conditions over towards Spokane tomorrow. We'll tell you how long we expect wind and the cool down to last a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Crews quickly contain a fire on Badger Mountain yesterday afternoon. Grant County Sheriff's K-9 unit arrests 2 home burglary suspects near Moses Lake, and the U.S. State Department issues a travel warning. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our feature story today. But first, Washington State's largest active wildfire appears to now be under control. Crews have made considerable progress in containing the Diamond Creek fire in the Pasayten Wilderness in Okanogan County. The human-caused fire has blackened over 30,000 acres of timber, but managers say it's now over 50% contained.
Fires continue to burn and will continue to burn in the interior until we get significant precipitation. But it's also burning on the edges in some places, but in many cases those are burning into fire scars or natural barriers.
The fire is located about 12 miles north of Mazama. The blaze claimed 2 abandoned mining structures, but no homes were damaged or are currently threatened. Godfrey says managers have targeted October 15th as the expected date for full containment, although he says the process of demobilization has already started. Fire crews and local farmers made quick work of a small fire late yesterday afternoon on Badger Mountain near Road T Northwest. A vehicle apparently caught fire, which in turn quickly ignited a nearby wheat field. No buildings were lost in the blaze, and it burned only a small amount of acreage before it was extinguished. 2 Grant County women are in jail after the sheriff's K-9, Edo, and partner Deputy Tyson Vost helped catch them after an early morning burglary south of Moses Lake. A homeowner called 911 about 4:45 this morning reporting someone was trying to break into their home. The homeowner then reported a vehicle fleeing the scene towards Moses Lake. Deputies stopped the suspect car and identified the 2 occupants as 30-year-old Nadine Nicole Gerda Chanel Kyle and 36-year-old Delilah A. Vasquez. They were released because deputies at the home thought there may be a suspect still inside. Deputies checked the home and found no suspects, but they did find tire prints that match Kyle's vehicle. The 2 women abandoned the vehicle into a potato field where the deputy and K-9 caught up with them and placed them into custody a short time later. The U.S. State Department has issued a warning for tourists traveling to Mexican resort towns such as Cabo San Lucas and Cancun. The warning comes during a spike in drug cartel-fueled violence where some of the country's most popular regions are located. Scott Thompson with Wenatchee's Total Travel Agency says it's a worldwide issue that is not isolated to Mexico. He says travelers are adjusting to what appears to be the new normal.
For the most part, I do think that people have not become numb to it, but aren't as reactive as they maybe once were a few years ago, especially with what's going on in Europe. Our Europe market travel has this year has gone up. When I would say that there's more situations in Paris and London and Barcelona that have gone up in years date, and we're still seeing the travel. So I think it's going to affect some people, but other people are still going to continue to travel to Mexico. They've been there before, and they know it is a great area.
Thompson says it's prompted more interest in domestic destinations.
go out and they get prices for hotels domestically, they notice that it's an increase from year to date. Hawaii, it's been more challenging to find the great deals that were a year ago. Airfare has gone up. I think that they recognize that that this is where Mexico is hurting. It's helping the tourism in Hawaii.
Thompson also advises travelers to foreign countries to always be aware of their surroundings and to, when possible, travel in groups when sightseeing. Coming up, we chat with students about heading back to school, and the Eastmont School Board has decided to consider changing the name of Robert E. Lee Elementary. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
I gotta tell you, I'm nervous.
Selling your home, it's a big step.
Can we find the right buyer in this market?
Look at our website. When someone looks at your home, I can tell how ready they are to buy. See that number? The closer it is to 100, the closer they are to buying. So, I know who to zero in on.
So you have a secret weapon.
You mean, we have a secret weapon.
I like that. Oh, what do you think of the wallpaper?
I love that touch.
No matter what your age or ailment, when you wake up each day with a sense of purpose, life has meaning and joy.
Just wait a while, it'll get in the hole somewhere.
Helping you do this is our purpose. Highgate Senior Living, each day to the fullest.
The best thing about my life right now is
me.
It's that time of the year again for back-to-school shopping, with fall classes starting up as early as next week in some districts.
How much are you going to spend on back-to-school supplies this year?
Oh, we already spent like over $500 worth of clothes and school supplies for me and my sister.
Yeah? Yeah. So what's hot this year?
Well, for
clothing,
probably for shoes. Last year it was Adidas, but now I don't really know. Yeah, Converse probably, and ripped jeans are really cute for girls.
Mom, how much do you anticipate having to spend this year on back to school?
I don't know. I'm hoping under 200.
Under 200 this year?
Yeah.
Getting harder all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting expensive.
The older they get.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're looking for this year for back-to-school clothes?
Markers and glue and stuff.
What about clothes?
I don't know.
How much do you anticipate having to spend on back-to-school clothing and supplies this year?
Right around probably $1,500 to $2,000.
Woo! That much?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Throughout everything, you know, the second pairs of shoes, you name it, you know, so forth, so on. So
kids got to have the latest and greatest, don't they?
Well, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How much do you anticipate having to spend on back to school this year?
With 2 kids, probably several $100s in clothes and school items.
How difficult is it in shopping for kids' clothing?
The hardest part is they're going to grow out of it quickly at this age, at 7 and 11. So you're going to buy something and a couple months later it's going to be gone.
That's right.
Yeah, that's part of the deal though.
So what's going to be hot this year in terms of clothing?
Get some new shoes.
Get some new shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right.
And the Minecraft shirts are always popular.
I was hoping to get out for around $200.
$200 this year?
Yep.
Are you succeeding?
For both kids, yeah, because the Cascade School District has a great pre-purchase program for all school supplies, where they bundle them and you order them in the spring instead of the fall and having to run all over the place.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And they didn't grow too much, so we only needed minimal clothing.
Fashion is important, though.
Function.
Function.
For these guys, it's function.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The fall term starts August 30th for students in the Wenatchee and Eastmont school districts, while classes begin August 29th in the Cascade, Cashmere, Eniat, and Chelan school districts. Well, the question that has lit up social media and local opinion now for over a month is, should the name Robert E. Lee Elementary School stay as it is as a reminder of our history, or should it be changed because it represents suppression and intimidation? Following many public comments on the issue at Monday's Eastmont School Board meeting, the board voted 4-1 to add the controversial issue as a future agenda item for the board to consider. Garn Christensen, Eastmont School District Superintendent and spokesman for the school board, says unlike 2 years ago when this issue was raised, the school's name this time has sparked much more public opinion, especially after the tragedy in Charlottesville, Virginia.
This issue has come up a couple times before in my experience in Eastmont. About 1 week ago, we started to receive some correspondence following the tragedy in Charlottesville as far as why was a school in our region named Robert E. Lee Elementary. And over the course of the last week, we've continued to receive correspondence, primarily emails, either suggesting that that name should be changed or that that name should remain. And our board has worked together very hard to be transparent as well as also respond to our community. Some of these emails are coming from Eastmont parents and families. Others are coming from out of the area. But I think consistent with that commitment to be transparent and responsive, they made a decision to go ahead and place it on the agenda.
Christensen also says the school board over the next couple of meetings will make a determination when and where to put the issue on the board's upcoming agenda. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Every golfer aims to play their best, and smart golfers turn to the Golfer's Edge to get the Golfer's Edge. PGA professional Ed Payne has you covered from tee to green. You can work on your swing or play 18 in air-conditioned comfort on the golf simulator. Tanya's Corner has all the apparel the golfer needs at sale prices. And Ed can even rebuild your favorite set of clubs or custom make you a brand new set. Ask how you can qualify for a free 30-minute lesson at the Golfer's Edge on Mission between Kittitas and Yakima.
At Doghouse Motorsports, we ride what we sell. There's a lot we could say about the CD Spark and the CD GTI, but ultimately, the ride says it all.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy hump day. United Soccer coaches announced last week that 15 men and 15 women selected from over 300 applicants as the 2017-18 cohorts of the United Soccer Coaches 30 Under 30 program. Launched in 2013, the program is a year-long education and mentorship opportunity for a select few up-and-comers who've made soccer coaching their career of choice. One of those coaches was Neil Oyston, Director of Coaching at Wenatchee FC Youth. Neil is the only coach from Washington State and one of 3 from the West Coast to receive this accolade. Congratulations. Well, it's been quite a summer for returning Wenatchee Wild defenseman Slava Demin, who skated on the U.S. Under-18 men's select team in the Czech Republic and Slovakia in August. Now he's been selected as one of 42 players who will compete in the 6th annual CCM USA Hockey All-America Prospects game, set for September 21st at KeyBank Center, home of the NHL's Buffalo Sabres. Demin, who last season was the youngest player on the Wild roster, returns for his second season in Wenatchee with his Division I college commitment to Denver University in hand. Head coach GM Bliss Littler says Slava is a natural talent who works very hard to improve his overall game. We're excited to see him earn these opportunities. Demin eligible for the 2018 NHL Draft to be held at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Reliever David Phelps was reinstated off the 10-day disabled list on Wednesday by the Mariners, who pulled a bit of a surprise by designated outfielder Leonis Martin for assignment to open up the roster spot. Phelps, one of Seattle's primary non-wave trade deadline acquisitions, has been sidelined since August 8th with a right elbow impingement. On the field, the Mariners committed 2 errors, making it 6 in 2 games in Atlanta. The bats were silenced in a 4-0 loss to the Braves last night. Rookie Lucas Sims worked 6 scoreless innings, allowing just 3 hits to earn his second win. Nick Markakis homered in the 4th and added an RBI single in the 5th to support Sims on the mound, and dropping the 2 games back at the American League's second wildcard spot. Mariners committed a pair of errors that led to their bullpen allowing a pair of unearned runs. Starting pitcher Marco Gonzalez left a runner stranded in each position and scoring position in each of the first 3 innings, then allowed a run in the 4th and the 5th. Seattle had a chance to get out of the 6th without allowing a run, but a double rundown caused some problems as one error was committed in the ballgame. Manager Scott Servais said if the team expects to win on the road, it has to do better defensively.
We just haven't played clean baseball. There's been a number of plays that have come up. We dropped fly ball tonight. The rundown play was a little crazy. It just hasn't been clean. And we got to tighten that up. It's just where we're at. Obviously, we got a lot of games ahead of us on this trip, and you can't make those mistakes on the road and expect to win games. We got through it last night. It wasn't ugly, but tonight it caught us. And again, we got to do more offensively, and it didn't happen tonight.
Seattle and Atlanta are in the middle of wrapping up that rubber match of the series in Atlanta. American League wildcard race. Yankees beat up on Detroit 13-4. Minnesota down Chicago 4-1. It was KC over Colorado 3-2. Yankees still in front in the wildcard chase, 2.5 games in front of Minnesota. The Angels a half game back along with Kansas City. Seattle with the loss last night, now 2 games back. In the American League West on Tuesday, it was Oakland edging Baltimore 6-4. Washington down Houston by 1. The Angels pummeled Texas 10-1. Houston still on top. The Angels in second. Seattle in third in the American League West. Washington State senior guard Cody O'Connell and Washington senior linebacker Azim Victor have been named to the Associated Press preseason All-America first team. Congratulations to O'Connell, a former Wenatchee High School grad. And finally, today would have been the 49th birthday of former Seattle Seahawk Hall of Fame defensive tackle Cortez Kennedy. He played 11 seasons with the Seahawks, 8 Pro Bowl selections, selected to the 90s All-Decade team. It would have been a great birthday had he survived. That's Sports. I'm Eric Grantstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. For the 106th time, the NCW Fair in Waterville opens its gates to the public beginning tomorrow at 9 a.m. Fair manager Lonnie Rahm stopped by the NCW Live studios on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Coons to talk more about the upcoming weekend event.
Up until this point, because I've only been there a little over 3 months, and up until this point, the fair has just been a checklist. It's like, okay, I've got 42 pages of things, check, 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 did I do this, is this done, is this, this type of thing. The last couple of days, it's turning into a fair. The vendors are showing up, the kids are showing up, everything's changing, and it's just gone from an empty fairground, it's coming to life, and it is so exciting.
And tomorrow the doors open.
To the public.
Yeah.
Today the doors open to the kids and the
Right.
animals, and I can't wait for those barns to be full of animals and kids. I've heard from a lot of people that we are still really that hometown fair that people have enjoyed for over 100 years. This is our 106th year.
106 years. It started out as like the Douglas County Exposition.
Industrial Expedition.
Yeah.
Not expedition, exposition.
Exposition.
Yes.
And then it was, of course, for years and years, it was the NCW District Fair. They dropped District, 5-6 years ago, and it's now just the NCW Fair. And Waterville is the perfect place to hold it.
It is.
It's the perfect place to hold it. It really is.
And I have to tell you, there's hundreds and hundreds of awards that will be given out in the next couple of days. The judging starts tomorrow morning. Today, as you mentioned, is move-in. Tomorrow the judging starts. I've learned a whole lot about fitting and showing and judging and what the judges are looking for. And these kids are so proud, and this is the culmination of all of their hard work. And they walk away with a ribbon, and then they go to the livestock sale, and they walk away with cash.
Daily admission is, I believe, $8 for adults. Is that correct? Now, but again, for Thursday and for Thursday only, you have one of 2 things you can do. You have 3 things you can do. Number 1, you can fork over the $8 a ticket. What's the point of that? When I got tickets right here, and again, I'll give away 2 4-packs. So 2 winners will each get 4 tickets for tomorrow and tomorrow only for opening day of the NCW Fair. All you have to do is email me winner at ncwlife.com. Forgot the address. Winner at ncwlife.com, and I'll take all the emails I got and I will throw them in a box and I'll pull out 2 winners, and you will win tickets for Thursday only, 2 4-packs for the NCW Fair, or just go to any North Cascades National Bank branch, any branch.
9. There's 9 regional branches.
And any of them will have free
Yes,
tickets
that is
outside
correct.
of that.
We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Wenatchee Valley College is excited to announce the application process is now open for the new 4-year nursing degree program. The new RN to BSN degree offers working nurses the opportunity to complete their bachelor's degree online in only 1 year. Students will attend face-to-face classes just 3 times each quarter. This program is perfect for nurses wishing to advance in their careers. Make healthcare your career. WVC also offers medical assistant, chemical dependency, medical lab technology, and radiology programs.
And now a recap of some of our top stories. Washington State's largest active wildfire appears to now be under control. Crews have made considerable progress in containing the Diamond Creek fire in the Pasayten Wilderness in Okanogan County. The human-caused fire has blackened over 30,000 acres of timber, but managers say it's now over 50% contained.
Fires continue to burn and will continue to burn in the interior until we get significant precipitation. But it's also burning on the edges in some places, but in many cases those are burning into fire scars or natural barriers.
The fire is located about 12 miles north of Mazama. The blaze claimed 2 abandoned mining structures, but no homes were damaged or are currently threatened. Godfrey says managers have targeted October 15th as the expected date for full containment, although he says the process of demobilization has already started. Fire crews and local farmers made quick work of a small fire late yesterday afternoon on Badger Mountain near Road T Northwest. A vehicle apparently caught on fire, which in turn quickly ignited a nearby wheat field. No buildings were lost in the blaze, and it burned only a small amount of acreage before it was extinguished. The question that has lit up social media and local opinion for over a month now, should the name Robert E. Lee Elementary School stay as it is as a reminder of our history, or should it be changed because it represents suppression and intimidation? Following many public comments on the issue at Monday's Eastmont School Board meeting, the board voted to add the controversial issue as a future agenda item for the board to consider. Garn Christensen, Eastmont School District Superintendent and spokesman for the school board, says unlike 2 years ago when the issue was raised, the school's name this time around has sparked much more public opinion, especially after the tragedy in Charlottesville, Virginia.
This issue has come up a couple times before in my experience in Eastmont. About 1 week ago, we started to receive some correspondence following the tragedy in Charlottesville as far as why was a school in our region named Robert E. Lee Elementary. And over the course of the last week, we've continued to receive correspondence, primarily emails, either suggesting that that name should be changed or that name should remain. And our board has worked together very hard to be transparent as well as also respond to our community. Some of these emails are coming from Eastmont parents and families. Others are coming from out of the area. But I think consistent with that commitment to be transparent and responsive, they made a decision to go ahead and place it on the agenda.
Christensen also says the school board over the next couple of meetings will make a determination when and where to put the issue on the board's upcoming agenda. And now your weather forecast for north central Washington. Before we get to that, let's take another look outside our weather window at the beautiful town of Waterville, and some haze and smoke in the skies today from those fires down around the Brookings, Oregon area. Huge fire there, but not as bad as yesterday. Temperatures today in the upper 80s and lower 90s. And after reaching a temperature yesterday of 92, yeah, it was another hot one around our area today. Our conditions will stay dry, and we could see some locally breezy conditions, especially by tonight. And as we take a look at our satellite loop, notice the line of clouds along the northwestern Washington coast. That will bring strong gusty winds to north central Washington and much cooler temperatures tomorrow. At the same time, a band of showers is moving up into southeastern Washington, and that's where most of the shower activity will stay for tomorrow. After cooler weather on Thursday and Friday, the heat will return for the weekend and especially into next week, with temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. So here's a look at that forecast for you. Tonight we can expect partly cloudy skies with mild lows of around 67 degrees. And then tomorrow, a hold on to your hat kind of day. Windy all day long and tomorrow night. Much cooler too, only 83 our high, 55 the overnight low. And then the warm up begins as we head into Friday and especially the weekend, Saturday through Tuesday. Sunshine, lows in the mid to upper 60s. And look at that high temperature by next Tuesday, a high temperature of 97. We could be talking 100 degrees by the middle of next week. And finally tonight, if you need a good laugh, we've got you covered. If you have a video of the day you'd like to see on NCW Life News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
Reed's Marine in Manson has your boating needs covered, offering the superior Regal lineup with options from 19 to 53 feet. With the Regal Express line, you have the freedom to explore with an innovative interior and the largest headroom in its class. Don't forget the roomy cockpit with seating to fit the whole family. From 26 to 32 feet, Reed's Marine has the Regal Express to fit your needs. View our current inventory at ChelanBoat.com or stop by our Manson showroom on beautiful Lake Chelan and see the entire Regal line.
You know, I nail it, but that's not quite good enough. All right, the full-size SUV redesign this year. Wow. The brand new Nissan Titan, the truck everybody's talking about. And as long as we got that, let's start over. 2017 Nissan, the best-selling SUV in America. I freaking had it. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee.